Larry Holder, Clyde, Verdin here with you. And, of course, the Saints are neck deep in the draft process. We know they've done their work in free agency. Still maybe some things they might want to address. Maybe they make some trades somewhere down the line. But let's kind of dive into the expectations with the draft. And it's a popular question, as one even Mickey Loomis received during LSU's Pro Day. The pressure of trying to replicate not only the last draft, but maybe the last two drafts. And I think you're seeing that the Saints are probably going to have a hard time doing that because they're, starting at pick number 27. It's hard to replicate, say, getting a Michael Thomas or maybe a Sheldon Rankins or a Marshawn Lattimore in some of these picks, and you don't have the same firepower. Look, last year they had 5 picks in the days 1 and 2, and so it's going to be difficult to do, even though I still think that their scouting department has been kind of spot on these last couple of years.
Absolutely. I mean, and it's for any team, if regardless of whether or not it's the Saints or somebody else, to think now that not only the Saints were able to pick up the offensive and defensive rookie of the year in the same draft class, I mean, that's historic in its own right, because, I mean, you're talking about bringing in 2 guys that could be cornerstones on offense and defense of your franchise for the next 10-plus years, depending on how you go. That's going to be a tough thing to do, but I don't think Saints fans should have any doubt that even though the Saints don't have the same type of draft that they have last year, I think there's still, from what we've seen the last couple of years, especially with bringing on a guy like Jeff Ireland, who we talked a lot about on the show, specifically in the college scouting this team has been able to do, I don't think Saints fans should have any doubts that they've been doing their homework, quality homework, and the guys that they're going to target eventually in the next couple of weeks, who we see them, call out whether or not they trade up for a guy, maybe trade down, the guys that they're going to get are going to be guys that fit the system that both Sean Payton and Dennis Allen want to have, that they know they can come in right away and contribute in some form or fashion, and that it'll still be a quality draft for this team that has all the pieces there to make a quality run at the Super Bowl here in the next couple of years.
And I think you have to look at it as in the Saints don't have as many holes as we had to see the last couple of off seasons. But you say trade up, trade down. I think all of us know trade down is never in their vocabulary, even though they claim it's in their vocabulary. So I'm curious to see if there's someone they want to trade up for. Like, I can go back to, say, the 2014 draft. They were at pick number 27. They actually traded up to 20. And that's when they got Brandon Cooks. Obviously, Brandon Cooks has now been traded not once but twice, so you could argue that might not have been the smartest move. But, hey, it doesn't matter. The Saints were able to parlay that into, say, best player available at number 32, and they got Ryan Ramczyk in last year's draft. And I think that's still the strategy they have to go after. People ask me, man, do you think they'd take an offensive lineman at 27? I said, if the grade fits and there's no one that's near that, I think it would, and some of the arguments I would make would say, okay, Andres Pete, he's in the 4th year. He would be eligible for a 5th-year extension if they give that to him. Teron Armstead, the injury issues with him. So you can logically make an argument for any kind of player there, even a quarterback. Look, I have not been shy on Duncan Holder or in print saying that if Baker Mayfield were at 27, I would take him. But I'm not going up like some NFL pundits say, I'm not going all the way up to 8 and I'm mortgaging the farm to go do that. I don't think the Saints are going to be doing that.
Yeah, I mean, when they say fortune favors the bold, that's one thing, but it's another thing to try to pull another Ricky Williams, and next thing you know, we're going to have coaches and players in wedding dresses on the cover of Sports
I don't think
Illustrated.
Mickey Loomis is going to take the whole weekend off and Sean Payton and go play golf and say, I just wanted to get out of here.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. So, but you're right. I mean, at this point, you're talking about a Saints team that's really right now looking for ways to complement the pieces that they have, but also at the same time bolster the depth they actually completely need, because you never know how the season's going to go. And I think right now, what's so interesting about this offseason is that I think we've seen what the Rams have done. The Rams have acquired how many free agents now, including, Ndamukong Suh and guys like that, and trading for Brandon Cooks. So now we're talking about teams like the Rams, who also clearly see that they have a window here, along with the Eagles and the Vikings and maybe the San Francisco 49ers. Who knows? That at this point, it is which style or which system is going to best give you the chance to be a high seed in the NFC playoffs, hopefully get a home round series, and then obviously make a run in the Super Bowl, because either you're going to go through for free agency, or you're going to go through the draft, or maybe you're going to try to do a little bit of both. And I think that's what the Saints are trying to do, and it'll be interesting to see how they approach that, especially once OTAs start and camp start and having all these guys in. It's going to be really interesting to see how it goes going forward.
And don't forget, people might be complaining, oh, they don't have a second-round pick. Well, just count Alvin Kamara as your second-round pick, because they use that in the deal to move up to go get him. So, all right. Yeah, exactly. So check out all of our coverage of all things Saints at NOLA.com, and in our print editions of the Times-Picayune, mock drafts. Our draft series are coming. We're going to have all blanket coverage, and, of course, through every component, print, online, video, you name it, podcast. We'll have all that at NOLA.com. So for Clyde, Verdin, I'm Larry Holder. Thanks for joining us.